So your assignment is to determine the plot and kind of fill out a chart with the plot from The Outsiders, which we will be completing on Tuesday, and you're asked to fill this out on Thursday. But before we do that, I wanted to take a few minutes to make sure that you understand plot. So we'll start with the definition. What is plot? Plot is the main events of a play, novel, or movie or similar work devised and presented by the writer as an interrelated sequence. So it's the main events that take place from the beginning to the end of the story. However, plot is more than just beginning, middle, and first, second, last. It's all of the events in the story. They all play a significant role. By the definitions as an interrelated sequence, they're all connected. In what ways have you seen plot demonstrated visually? Usually in class, this is the time that I would ask that. Take volunteers or suggestions on maybe how you have seen it. Since I don't know how you've seen it, that's why I wanted to take the time to kind of show you guys this diagram, which is a pretty traditional diagram of how plot is portrayed. It starts here, and again, it's not just beginning, middle, end. There's a reason why things go up, things come down, which we'll go over right now. The very first part is called the exposition. That is where you get the characters, the setting, the background of the story, followed by the rising action, which is made up of the story's events, including the conflict and tension, anything that increases the tension. Up here is going to be kind of the highlight. It's placed in the middle here. It doesn't always necessarily fall in the middle. Say you're reading a 100-page book, it doesn't necessarily fall on page 50. If you're watching an hour-long movie, it doesn't fall at minute 30. But it is portrayed in the middle here. That's the climax. It's the high point of the story. The eventual outcome becomes clear. We had the rising action, so you can guess this one is now the falling action. The falling action are events following the climax or events that happen as a result of the climax. And lastly is the resolution, also known as the end. It's the final outcome. All the loose ends should be tied up at this point. So we are going to go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and fill out this plot diagram, this plot map with you, with the story, Toy Story. So we are looking at our exposition. Where was the story set? Who were the characters? Whenever you're filling it out, that's what you're looking at when you're looking at your exposition here. Toy Story I picked because most of us have seen it. Most of us know it well enough. You guys know me, my kids. I've seen it a million times just during our distance learning alone. So our setting is Andy's house. It's Andy's birthday, and Woody and the other toys are performing a recon mission to see what new toys Andy gets for his birthday. So that is the setting. That's where we open up our story. Next thing we're looking at are what events take place, what were the conflicts that the character faced. So all of this, everything you put in the plot diagram can be either like this, I wrote it here, just kind of a list run on together, or it can be portrayed like this where it's bullet points. I think bullet points makes it a little more clear, so I'm going to continue to do it that way. So here's the events that happen. Andy gets a new toy, Buzz. Woody is jealous of him. Woody knocks Buzz out of the window so he can go to Pizza Planet with Andy. The other toys accuse Woody of trying to murder Buzz. Buzz sneaks into the family van, and he and Woody get in a fight, and they get left behind at a gas station. They hitch a ride to Pizza Planet in the delivery truck and make it back to look for Andy at Pizza Planet. That's our rising action before we get to our climax. So the next thing we're looking for is the climax, the high point of the story. What happened? Where did everything start to change? Where did the shift happen in the story? Woody and Buzz get stuck in a claw machine and get taken home by Sid, who's Andy's neighbor, who's known for hurting toys. Woody gets the attention of the other toys, but they won't help him because they think he murdered Buzz. Next will be our falling action. What are the events following the climax? What happens as a result of the climax? So the result of our climax was they are now in Sid's house. They need to try and get out of Sid's house. What happens as a result of that? So they manage to escape from Sid's house while being chased by Sid's dog. They struggle to get onto the moving truck. Eventually, they end up landing in Andy's van, and he thinks, or his mom probably thinks, they were there the whole time. Finally, we're looking for the resolution. What happened at the end of the story, and where were our main characters? So we know here, obviously, Woody was a primary character. Buzz became a primary character. So what happened? Where were our main characters at the end of the story? Now friends, Woody and Buzz work together to perform another recon mission of Andy's Christmas presents. Woody jokingly asks what gift would be worse than Buzz, and Andy gets a puppy. So that's the gift that could be worse than Buzz. So these are all the events of the story. Everything, I mean, yes, it's in order. This works when things go in chronological order like this is as the story is being told. So it starts here with Andy's birthday, then it goes through all of these things, up, down, and then finally our resolution here. What your diagram looks like for your assignment is a little different. It is broken down like this, but has all the same things. If you wanted to sketch it out in this format with the triangle shape, that's fine. Otherwise, this is going to be your setting of the outsiders, the characters, opening conflict. What's the opening conflict when we first meet our characters? What's happening? Then we go to our rising action. So follow the flow. It goes down this way. Rising action is pointing here. What's the main event? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go to the next slide. Climax. What's the turning point? The most suspenseful event. Falling action coming down this way. And then to the resolution. What's the main conflict dealt with and resolved at the end the story ends. So hopefully this helped. Feel free to go back, click through. I'm going to link these slides as well in case you need a little bit more understanding of what plot means. Again, plot is the main events of a play, novel, movie, or similar work. In our case, for this lesson, we kind of looked at the plot of a movie, but for the sake of the assignment, you're looking at the plot of the novel, The Outsiders. If you need any help, send me an email, make a comment, send me a message, whatever.